It feels like AI is everywhere these days, you know? It's like every time I turn around, there's a new headline about some crazy AI breakthrough.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely moving at warp speed.
And honestly, it's a little overwhelming to keep up with.
I hear you. But that's kind of why we're here today, right?
Exactly. So for this deep dive, we're going to try and cut through the noise and focus on a few key AI developments we found in,
Kind of all over the place, really.
yeah, we've got a tech blog post, some cutting-edge research articles, even a study on how people are using AI on social media.
It's wild how AI is popping up everywhere you look.
Seriously, so ready to see what's really happening in the world of AI.
Let's do it.
All right, let's jump right in with this article about DeepSeek R1. It's a new large language model, and some folks are saying it could be a serious rival to OpenAI's GPT-4. What's got everyone so excited about this DeepSeek thing?
Well, DeepSeek R1, it's got some pretty impressive features like advanced reasoning, which is a big one, and it's multimodal.
Multimodal, meaning it can work with more than just text.
Yeah, exactly. Text, images, even rumors of audio support coming soon. But honestly, the biggest deal is probably the cost.
Oh, really? How so?
Well, it's designed to be way more affordable than the competition, which is a big deal because that means smaller companies, developers, they can actually get their hands on this powerful AI without breaking the bank.
Interesting. So we could actually see DeepSeek R1 level the playing field a bit.
It had the potential, yeah. I mean, just imagine a small startup with the same AI firepower as a tech giant. That could lead to some seriously cool innovations.
No kidding. That's a great point. Okay, so moving on, let's talk about AI in healthcare. Specifically, how it's shaking things up in the field of clinical genetics.
Oh, this is fascinating stuff. One of the research articles we found talks about how AI is being used to analyze DNA, predict hereditary diseases.
Really?
Yeah, and even personalized treatments based on someone's unique genetic makeup.
Yeah.
Like, imagine if doctors could spot potential health risks years before any symptoms even show up.
Whoa, that sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie.
I know, right? But it's getting closer to reality than you might think. Actually, this article mentions a case where AI was able to detect a genetic predisposition for a rare disease way before any symptoms appeared.
Wow, that's incredible. So we could be talking about a future of preventative, personalized healthcare.
It's definitely a possibility, and one with huge implications.
Absolutely. Okay, now let's shift gears again.
Yeah.
Let's talk about how AI is impacting the way we interact online. There's this really interesting study that used data from Reddit to analyze the whole post-ChatGPT era.
Yeah, that one was fascinating.
So what did they find?
Well, three main takeaways, really. First, there's been a huge increase in AI-generated content on Reddit, like comments, posts, even full-blown articles.
No surprise there. I feel like I'm seeing more and more AI-generated stuff online these days.
Right. And that leads to the second finding. Conversation patterns are changing. People are adapting to interacting with AI, both knowingly and unknowingly.
Which is kind of freaky when you think about it. Like, who are you really talking to online these days?
Exactly. Yeah. And that ties into the third point, which is trust. People are getting more and more concerned about the authenticity of online content.
I can see why it's getting harder and harder to tell what's real and what's been generated by a machine.
Totally. So yeah, that study really highlights how AI is fundamentally changing how we communicate online.
For sure. All right, let's move on to AI voice agents. You know, those virtual assistants we're seeing everywhere, from customer service to smart homes.
Oh yeah, they're popping up left and right.
So there's this report that really emphasizes one key thing when it comes to these AI voice agents: speed.
Oh, absolutely. Speed is everything for these things.
Why is that? I mean, besides the obvious convenience factor.
Well, think about it. A slow voice assistant. It's just frustrating, right? You're waiting around, tapping your fingers, getting impatient. And that negative user experience, it reflects poorly on the whole system.
Yeah, I can definitely relate to that. Nothing worse than a voice assistant that takes forever to understand what you're saying.
Exactly. But it goes beyond just user experience. Speed also impacts real-time processing, business efficiency.
Right.
Like if a company's AI customer service agents are slow, it's going to cost them time and money.
That makes sense. So it sounds like developers have a real challenge on their hands, balancing speed with accuracy and complexity.
Oh, for sure. It's a tough nut to crack.
Okay, last but not least, let's talk about the impact of AI on jobs, specifically engineering jobs. We found a report that highlights Mark Zuckerberg's prediction about how AI will affect engineers.
Oh, yeah. Zuckerberg doesn't think AI will replace engineers.
Really? That's surprising. A lot of people seem to think AI is coming for everyone's jobs.
Yeah, well, Zuckerberg's take is that AI will actually enhance what engineers do, Like, imagine AI taking over all those tedious, repetitive tasks.
So engineers would have more time to focus on the bigger picture, the creative problem solving.
Exactly. And there are already AI tools out there that are doing just that. GitHub Copilot, for example. And hey, even that DeepSeek R1 we talked about earlier, that could be a game changer for engineers.
So instead of fearing obsolescence, engineers should be embracing these AI tools as partners.
That's the idea. It's all about human-AI collaboration.
It's definitely a shift in thinking, but a pretty exciting one, if you ask me.
I think so, too. It's going to be fascinating to see how this all plays out.
Okay, so before we wrap up this first part of our AI adventure, let's take a quick look at some of the hottest AI apps out there right now. This tech blog we found highlights 3. Claude AI 2.0, Runway Gen 2, and Perplexity AI.
Ooh, yeah. Those are some big names right now.
Well, what do they do? Give us the rundown.
Okay, so Claude AI 2.0, and it's all about text generation. It's known for its advanced reasoning abilities. It can generate some really nuanced and creative text.
Interesting. And what about Runway Gen 2?
Runway Gen 2 is all about video creation. It's using AI to push the boundaries of what's possible with video editing and generation. It's pretty mind-blowing stuff.
Yeah, and last but not least, Perplexity AI.
Perplexity AI. It's like a supercharged search engine. It uses AI to understand your search intent and provide really comprehensive and insightful results. It's pretty impressive.
So it's like AI is taking over every aspect of our digital lives.
Well, it's definitely making its presence known. And these 3 apps, they're just the tip of the iceberg.
It's amazing to see how quickly AI is evolving and finding its way into our daily routines.
It really is. And it's only going to get more interesting from here.
I can't wait to see what's next. So have you had a chance to play around with any of these apps yourself?
I've been messing around with Claude AI 2.0 a bit, and I gotta say, it's pretty impressive. It can hold a surprisingly intelligent conversation. It's almost like you're chatting with a real person sometimes.
That's kind of wild. It really feels like we're entering a new era where AI is becoming an integral part of our lives, from our creative process to our work to even our social interactions.
Absolutely. It's a brave new world out there.
And we're just getting started exploring it.
Whew. We've covered a lot of ground already, and we're just getting started. This next batch of sources, it dives into some really mind-bending areas.
Yeah, tell me about it. We've got AI revolutionizing transportation, education, even creating totally new forms of entertainment. This is where things get really interesting.
Let's kick things off with transportation. This report we have here, it paints a picture of a future where self-driving cars are no longer a sci-fi fantasy, but a reality.
Self-driving cars, it's something I've been reading about for years, but it finally feels like the technology is catching up with the hype.
Right. And think about the impact that could have on our daily lives.
I mean, commuting could become a time to relax, work, maybe even catch a few Z's.
Exactly. And think about safety. Self-driving cars could potentially make our roads a lot safer. And they could also make transportation more accessible for people who can't drive themselves.
Makes you wonder what that would do to traffic.
Well, that's actually another area where AI is making waves. The report also talks about how AI is being used to optimize traffic flow.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like AI algorithms that can analyze traffic patterns in real time. They can adjust traffic signals, reroute vehicles, even predict congestion.
So AI could be the solution to our traffic woes.
It could definitely play a big role. Less time stuck in traffic, less fuel consumption, even a reduction in carbon emissions. It's pretty amazing to think about.
It really is AI tackling these real-world problems that have been bugging us for ages. Okay, let's shift gears to education. What about these AI-powered tutoring systems I'm hearing so much about?
AI tutors, they're definitely gaining traction. They offer personalized instruction that's tailored to each student's learning style and needs.
So it's like having a personal tutor on call 24/7.
Exactly. The AI tutor can figure out a student's strengths and weaknesses, adjust the difficulty of lessons, provide targeted feedback. It's amazing.
That could be a game changer for students who struggle in a traditional classroom setting. And I imagine it could also free up teachers to focus on other things.
Yeah, like mentoring, fostering creativity, really building those important relationships with students.
It seems like AI could actually complement human teachers rather than replacing them. Okay, now let's dive into the intersection of AI and entertainment. This is where things get really wild.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This source we have here talks about how AI is being used to create immersive, interactive experiences in virtual and augmented reality.
I've always been fascinated by VR and AR, and the potential for AI to take those technologies even further, it's mind-blowing.
Oh, for sure. Like, imagine a virtual world that feels as real as the physical world, with characters that react to your actions.
That sounds incredible. Are there any specific examples of that happening right now?
Well, there are companies using AI to create realistic virtual characters. These characters can learn, adapt, and interact with users in a way that feels natural and engaging.
Wow, that would definitely make the experience more immersive. But what about augmented reality? How is AI being used in that space?
AI is being used to create AR applications that overlay digital information onto the real world. So, for example, you could use your phone to scan a product in a store and instantly see reviews, price comparisons, even personalized recommendations.
That's so cool. AI blurring the lines between the digital and physical worlds.
Exactly. It's really blurring those lines. Okay, before we move on to our final batch of sources, I want to touch on something that I think will really hit home with our listeners: AI's impact on our everyday lives.
Yeah, it's easy to get caught up in the futuristic stuff, but AI is already changing our daily routines in ways we might not even realize.
Right. Think about personalized recommendations on our favorite streaming services or smart home devices that automate our chores. AI is becoming woven into the fabric of our lives.
I've also read about AI systems that can analyze medical images like X-rays and CT scans. They can sometimes detect things that human radiologists might miss.
It's incredible. AI helping doctors make more accurate diagnoses and treatment decisions. And it doesn't stop there. AI can also personalize treatment plans, tailoring them to each patient's needs.
AI revolutionizing healthcare in a way that truly benefits patients. It's not just about fancy technology, it's about making people's lives better.
Exactly. And like we've been talking about, it goes way beyond healthcare. AI is transforming the way we work, learn, even how we interact with the world around us.
It's like AI is this invisible force subtly changing everything.
It's a time of great change and uncertainty, but also a time of immense opportunity. AI has the potential to solve some of our biggest challenges, but it also comes with risks.
And ethical dilemmas that we need to address.
Yes, which leads us perfectly to our final set of sources. These sources tackle some of the big questions about AI and its relationship with humanity. Where is this all heading? And what does it mean for us as a species?
The million-dollar question, what does the future hold?
Honestly, no one knows for sure. AI is evolving so rapidly that its impact is still unfolding. But one thing's for certain: we're not just passive bystanders in all of this.
We have a say in how AI shapes our future.
Absolutely. We're actively shaping that future through the choices we make. We need to think critically about the ethical implications of AI, develop responsible guidelines, and make sure AI is aligned with human values.
So it's not just about the tech itself, it's about the values we embed in it.
Exactly. The future of AI is not preordained. It's a future we are creating together.
Wow. We've covered a ton of ground in this deep dive.
We really have, from that potential OpenAI rival to AI revolutionizing healthcare, transportation, entertainment. It's been quite a ride.
It really has. And as we wrap things up, I'm curious, what's been the biggest aha moment for you in all of this?
You know, for me, it's realizing that AI isn't just some technological advancement. It's like this massive societal shift.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It makes you rethink everything.
It really does. Work, education, even what it means to be creative or intelligent AI is forcing us to redefine it all.
And it's not just about the algorithms and hardware. It's about the impact AI has on us as humans, on our lives, our relationships, our whole understanding of the world.
Exactly. And that brings up a big question. Do we embrace AI as a tool for progress, or do we fear it?
Because, let's be honest, there's definitely a fear that AI is going to disrupt things, maybe even replace us in some ways.
Oh, absolutely. But like we've seen, AI can also be used to solve some of humanity's biggest problems.
Yeah.
There's so much potential there.
It's a balancing act, recognizing both the benefits and the risks.
Totally. And at the end of the day, the future of AI isn't set in stone. It's being shaped right now.
By all of us.
By all of us. Researchers, developers, policymakers, even everyday users like you and me. The choices we make today will determine where AI takes us tomorrow.
That's a pretty powerful thought. We all have a role to play in this AI-powered future.
We absolutely do. Whether it's pushing for ethical AI development, exploring AI's creative potential, or just staying informed about the latest advancements, we can all contribute to building an AI future that benefits everyone.
So, to our listeners out there, don't just listen to this deep dive. Go out and explore. Try those AI apps we talked about. Research a topic that piqued your interest. Start a conversation about AI with your friends and family.
Remember the future of AI. It's not something that just happens to us. It's something we actively create together.
That's a great note to end on. So from all of us here at the Deep Dive, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep asking those big questions. Until next time.